Hey everybody, Tom Albano here along with Nick Morgasen and Nick Fodera. It is time for Rapid Rundown for Week 17. Bit of an unusual week. We don't have any Thursday or Saturday games after a few weeks. All of a sudden, everything is going to be Sunday and then Monday Night Football.
So if you had plans, cancel them.
Just enjoy all the football on Sunday and Monday night, of course. Before we start, by the way, want to make a little tribute here. On New Year's Eve, just a couple of days ago, we lost probably one of the game's greatest minds, arguably the game's greatest mind, one of the greatest coaches that'll ever go down in history. I've read it in a couple of articles, and they're kind of right. Whether you knew him as a broadcaster, or you knew him as a coach, a Super Bowl winning coach, or you knew him from the video game series that's his namesake, one way or another, everybody knew John Madden.
By the way, 750 winning percentage as a coach,
which most coaches would kill for that.
Yep. And he has the distinction as a broadcaster, the only one to broadcast on all four major networks that have had football.
Three different generations of people know him as a presence in their life. And
by the way, he made Turducken famous.
Yeah, and there's an NFL before him and an NFL after him. And the NFL is better for having had him in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, just rest in peace, John Madden. It's kind of a weird situation, especially since it's happening at the end of the year. And
it's kind of a really downer way to end the year for the sports world. A really bad way to end.
It kind of reminds me, like you said, Madden with the football video. It kind of reminds me of Jordan, like being the brand of the NBA. That's where I'd put Madden. Like it's similar.
It is similar.
Honestly, John Madden, quite arguably, is football. Like there's some of the stuff that you see in the NFL that would not be as recognizable, or probably would not have happened if it was not for this man.
Also, he created drawing on the screen for the most part, or at least made it entertaining.
The telescreen.
Yeah, the telestrator.
I will always associate the telescreen with John Madden, no matter who takes it over.
You throw the ball in the end zone. Thanks, Madden.
and him. By the way, you're talking about broadcasting teams. Him and Al Michaels, probably one of the most legendary, two of the most legendary broadcasters. Probably the most legendary broadcast team.
You also can't forget him and Summerall. Obviously, that was
the original voices of Madden.
Right, and it's tough loss for the NFL community. NFL Hall of Famer in two distinctions as well, one for a coach and I think one for a broadcaster. So basically he checked off all the boxes on the accolade list.
He is what coaches aspire to be. What he has achieved, they worked their entire lives to get.
Like you said, most coaches, most broadcasters would kill for the kind of career that John Madden has had.
He also said that he never worked a day in his life either.
Because he loved football.
Right. Passion.
That's what's important.
Again, John Madden is football.
And the scary part, he won one Super Bowl. One. Like, imagine.
Tough loss.
Tough
loss for the sports world. All right. But we move, the game of football is better much for having him. So let's just do what he probably would want and just keep on with football. Keep getting this game moving forward. Keep pushing with football. So here we go. Week 17. And we begin. So I think Mike Lennon is back, so we don't have to deal with Jake from State Farm. Also, I guess the Bears are throwing in the towel again, because guess who's back at the quarterback helm?
Is it Andy Dalton?
Andy Dalton. So Mike Lennon versus Andy Dalton. Crap versus crap.
So I would advise you to take the money, but here's what I would do with my money if there was any metaphorically
burn it.
If there was any money involved, I would probably try to invest it in having myself cryogenically frozen, only to be woken up when the Giants are competitive again. I realize that may take 1,000 years, but I'm willing to wait.
I would rather invest in Bitcoin than bet on this game.
Hey, I would do that, but you know what? I have an even better idea, and this is going to be delusional since we talk about delusional ideas. I would invest it in an NFT of Nick on a golden toilet.
Nobody
So
wants
here's
to buy
the thing. So here's something interesting, gentlemen. Let me bring up the NFL draft order because that got shaken up a little bit. Because remember, the Giants have the Bears' first-round pick this year as a result of that trade that they used to get Fields in this last
Wait a minute.
draft.
You think the Bears are saying, "Oh fuck" at this point?
So no, but I'm saying the Giants 2 draft picks for the last few weeks have been 4 and 5. Because of the Bears' victory last week, the Bears now have the number 8 pick. So it's like, what do you do if you're the Giants? Do you lose this game to try and go lower down on the totem pole, even though that means your second draft pick is going to go higher? Or do you try and win the game so that way you're like 6-7 now?
This is what I rail against. What
did I say? Oh, wait a minute. This is gonna be one of the clips that's coming out tomorrow in the best of that you and I actually kind of agree on, Nick. Lottery.
Yes. I'm sorry. I rail against this in every way. You need to win the game. If you're going to win the game, win the game. If you're going to be an asshole, you're going to be an asshole, be an asshole.
You say that, but then we had the Eagles last year with Sunday night, and then you actually ranted, if I remember, when the Jets won 2 games and you guys lost out on Trevor Lawrence.
I hope you're satisfied with yourself, Mr. Mara.
Lottery.
Well, the Jets just find lucky ways to win.
How about this? Just take the money if you have to, but please just don't watch this game. Don't bet on this game. Go turn on one of the other games. Go turn on Red Zone.
Go turn on Red Zone. Go turn on a hockey game. Go do anything else.
Take down your Christmas decorations. Don't watch this game.
Well, I would say you have a better chance of burying the money underground and going and finding it after the game than taking the game. Of course, in this case, there's no way I'm taking the Giants. I would take the money, but
I wouldn't even bet on this. I wouldn't even touch this game with a 39.5-foot pole.
But wait a minute. Is this like Andy Dalton versus Mike effing Glennon?
Yep.
Or like, is that what we're talking about here?
I think so.
It's just beige wallpaper from here on out, folks.
All right. Let's move on to other games. Dolphins and the Titans. The Titans are 3.5-point favorites. So the Dolphins, gentlemen, have made NFL history. First team ever, 7-game losing streak followed by a 7-game winning streak. But there's a problem with that, gentlemen. I'm going to take a quote from one of our favorite people of ESPN, Woody Page. Check the schedule. You want to know why the Dolphins won 7 straight? You want to see their opponents as of late? Their opponents from November to this point have been the Texans, the Jets, the Panthers, the Giants, and the Saints. They just played last week, who were starting Ian Book and lost a bunch of their starters due to COVID. The one game that they actually give credit for is the Ravens on Veterans Day. They beat 22-10.
I mean,
and now you're going to have the Titans and the Patriots to end your season. You really think you're going to make the playoffs?
It's a monkey's paw situation. It's like we would like to go on a very long winning streak. Okay, here you go. Still, I'm taking the money.
It's a giant joke. That's why I keep playing that. Yeah, how do you go from 1-7 to 7-7? Like, you have to be playing shit upon shit.
Again, it's a cream puff schedule. He just said.
Actually, they're 8-7. They're a winning team right now.
But
they're probably going to just finish the season 8-9.
Even though I'm the biggest Tua hater there is right now. Like,
take the money. Just take the money. Even with no Derrick Henry and the wide receiver core banged up, just take the money.
Isn't the backup running back was good last week too, right?
Again, take the money.
Yeah, take the money.
Okay, we have a bunch of double-digit lines right now.
Oh, no.
We have the Falcons and Bills. Bills minus 14.
So, yeah, I'd take the money.
You know what? I have to say one thing. So, the Bills have kind of been a weird team the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
You don't know what to expect from them. Everyone is pressuring them as the favorite.
However, the Falcons nearly lost to the Lions last week.
Wait a minute. That happened to somebody else the week before.
I know, but you know what? Again, it's the Falcons. They're 7-8, but this is a team. The Falcons are the definition of weird. How the Bills have been acting the last 4 weeks are the Falcons this whole season.
Yeah.
I mean, to put it lightly and not to give them excuses, if you had guys like Ridley who were still playing, this would be a different game.
So, well, here's what I'm gonna. I get it, but I mean, they lost Julio Jones too. They traded him away to Tennessee. Here's what I'm gonna do. The Bills, though, need to play serious because right now they're 9-6. The Patriots are 9-6. The Dolphins are 8-7. The AFC East is still up for grabs.
They have to win.
They have to win. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the Bills. I'm not taking the line.
The line is insane. The line is insane.
I think it's only going to be a 7 or 10 point difference. Josh Allen needs to come out and have the game of his life to try and make a point to get the Bills back to Super Bowl contender status.
And Mac is making Josh Allen look like a fool out there on the field. That's a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm taking the Bills. A 2-touchdown line is hard. It's hard to bet on a 2-touchdown line. So the Bills are going to win. I'm not taking that cover. Not.
Me neither.
All right, what do we got next?
Okay, you thought this line was weird? Here you go. They're division rivals. We just mentioned the Patriots. They have a 15.5 favorite against the Jaguars.
Is it strange to think that with Urban Meyer out the door, there actually is a little bit of resurgence going on in Jacksonville?
However, they suffered a big, I mean, it's not a big blow because they're not going anywhere, but last week, first quarter against the Jets, James Robinson, you think he's going to go off and have the game of his life, tears his Achilles, done for the year. One of my fantasy seasons comes to an end because of that injury.
Seems to be a common theme with you and your fantasy team, dude.
Injuries, yes. Well, guys, the amount of 1 and 2 seeds I've been hearing who have lost their semifinals because of injuries. I'm hearing finals there. It's like the 3 seed versus the 5 seed, the 5 versus the 6 and the 7.
But were I a predicting man, I would still take the Patriots to win, but I think the line's going to be closer to 10 than 15.5.
See, I'm going to go opposite. You know my feelings on the Jaguars. I think Trevor could be better, but right now, whether Trevor's a bust or not, you know, the amount of receivers that he has, the team that he can work with, he can't work with. I'm not a LaVisca fan. I'm not a DJ Chark fan. I'm okay with him, but not as the hype that everybody else is. That Jaguars team sucks. You know what? I'm going to do what you said with the Bills, Nick Fodera. I'm taking the money despite the double digit.
So
Mac Jones, Rookie of the Year, baby. Here we go.
Yeah, so Tom said it earlier that both teams are 9-6, and the Patriots need to make a statement in the worst way because even though they've been winning, they've been a little bit lackadaisical.
Well, they lost to the Bills last week, so that tiebreaker, head-to-head, that's 1-1.
That they've lost 2 in a row, right?
I don't know if it's 2 in a row. Let me double check.
I thought they lost 2 in a row, but they haven't looked great. They look a little lackadaisical coming down the stretch, but I actually think...
Yeah, actually, no, you're right. They got upset by the Colts Christmas time.
That was a big game for the Colts, too, because that catapulted them up in the standings.
Yep.
But I think I agree with you, Tom. They need to win. And I think they're going to put a pounding on the Jaguars. So take the money.
Speaking of the Colts, I mean, we're talking about 2 teams right now in the AFC who are on the edge, who are trying to claw for one of those last wild card spots. The Colts.
I'm going to make a dangerous statement here. I think the Colts are the most dangerous team coming out of the.
Yeah, right now they are. So how the wild card is right now for the AFC, you have the Colts at the 1, the Patriots at the 2 because the Bills hold the tiebreaker. So actually, Colts 5, Patriots 6, and the Dolphins are the 7. You have the Ravens at 8-7, the Chargers at 8-7, the Raiders at 8-7, the Steelers at 7-1, the Browns at 7-8. Right now, the AFC wildcard scene it's a madhouse right now.
It's going to come down to tiebreakers.
I mean, the AFC North is on the line. The Bengals. So, if the Ravens lose this week, and the Browns beat the Steelers, I think the Bengals have the AFC North.
They do. Yeah.
So the AFC North is on the line this week. AFC East, it can't be clinched, but there's a lot of Actually, no. If the Bills hold the tiebreaker, and if the Bills win and Patriots lose, the Bills got it. If
It's
the Bills
over.
win, I think
Yeah.
they got it.
Right.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean the way I look at this game though, Jonathan Taylor has been unreal.
He has, however, last week against the Patriots, he didn't really do anything.
So did his record go out the book last week?
I don't believe so.
Because what did he have?
Not against the Patriots, against the Cardinals, he didn't do anything.
Because he had a record going, 100 yards and a touchdown going.
Yeah, but I mean, there's still this week against the Raiders. Oh my God! So week 18, the Colts play the Jaguars. The Colts have a legitimate shot right now to get into this playoff.
They're going to get in.
They're going to get in.
Let's call a spade, even though it's not confirmed. The Colts are going to get in. They're going to beat the Jaguars.
Since they're both 8-7, whoever loses this game is probably not making it in.
Yeah, and I don't know what to call the Raiders at this point.
Yeah, so the Raiders, somehow they were 8-7. They've shown some good strides, but this season looked like a dumpster fire when the whole Gruden thing. You know what? Colts are hot right now. I'm just gonna take the money on the Colts and say Colts win. Raiders get knocked out.
Yeah, they're gonna win this game alone on Jonathan Taylor.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
I'm taking the money.
All right. Oh, Joke.
Joke.
And look at that line. Hey, look who you're playing, Nick. It's your old friend Tom.
Guess who came over for a spot of tea and a nice ass kicking?
But remember, Buccaneers a little damaged. Godwin done till playoff time.
Fournette.
Actually, no, Godwin done for the year. Evans done till playoffs.
Fournette
done for the year.
Yeah, but
it's
still a one-legged man racing against a turtle.
So think about the Jets are going to get their asses kicked by Tom Brady and Antonio Brown. What can Brown do for you?
Take the money
out of here.
Take the money.
Oh, I can't believe I'm going to say it. Usually I rail against these large lines, but take the money. Take the money so far that I can guarantee almost that you're going to win.
It's Brady against the Jets. It's usually a spanking.
As long as you don't commit dumb penalties jumping over the special teams for a field goal kick.
All right. So I was talking about the Ravens, right? And how the AFC North could be on the line this week. Here's an interesting one. You got the Ravens, who are fighting for either the AFC North or one of the wild card spots, taking on the Rams, who have a playoff spot, but are still fighting with the Cardinals for the NFC West. They're a game ahead.
Who's quarterbacking for the Ravens?
I believe. Actually, let's have a check here.
It might be Huntley.
Is it still Huntley? Let me double check.
Actually, Huntley was in COVID protocol, wasn't he? If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
I mean, that quarterback situation is like a quarterback carousel.
The projected Ravens starting quarterback for Week 17. Let's see. Still got nothing.
Wow. So let's basically. I have a feeling it's going to be Huntley if he cleared protocol. So, not that was much better.
I think they're going to try to get Lamar better quickly to try. I mean, the Ravens are fighting for a playoff spot right now.
Yeah, and Matt Stafford. I laugh at that because he looked horrible last week.
Yeah, but you know what? The Cardinals came down to earth for time, and now the Rams took advantage of that. And
it's Odell's time to shine.
The Rams could win the division at this point.
They could indeed, but so I'm taking the Rams.
I think I'd say you're talking about, you laugh at Stafford, you laugh at OBJ, but you know what you can't laugh at, and you haven't been able to laugh at this whole time the Rams have been on top? That defense.
That's
Can't
true.
laugh at that.
By the way, again, the Ravens running back system is partying like it's 2017. That's a problem.
So I'm going to take the money.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a big blowout. I think it's only going to be like a 6 or 7 point game. But take the money.
Yeah, I mean your quarterback situation stinks. Your running back situation stinks. You're dealing with COVID. I mean, yeah.
Speaking of stinks, a game that doesn't matter. The Eagles and Washington. Okay, actually, I can't really say that. Washington somehow is still in the hunt for a playoff spot.
You mean when Heineke and Allen are not in COVID protocol?
Yeah.
This one just hurts.
So the Eagles are 8-7, Washington 6-9. Both teams are technically still fighting for a playoff spot.
I love
the
how
Eagles actually technically have the third wild card seed right now.
I love how that joke just flew completely over both your heads.
I'll still take that. I'm still taking the money. I'm just miserable all around.
See, I'm actually praying the Eagles lose this week and lose their last two games and the Vikings win their last two games so the Vikings can sneak in. But I can only dream. Take the money.
Oh, this is bad. This is NFC East terrible. In so many ways, this is terrible. Oh.
If it wasn't for the fact that the NFC South teams outside of the Bucks are a joke, I would say NFC least.
God. All right. Since both teams are terrible, I lean on the favorite at this point.
Yeah. Okay, AFC. I made mention about the Bengals being but they're in an interesting situation this week. Bengals Chiefs. This I think might be the game of the week.
This is definitely the game of the week. But you know what? I'm gonna put some respect on the Bengals and pick the Bengals to go upset City.
Oh my God! Really?
Whoa!
Yes.
Whoa! Where's
You've
my?
been telling me all year that nobody respects the Bengals. You know what? Now I believe you.
I do respect the Bengals, but against the 11-4 Chiefs.
Wow! Wow!
Oh my
I'm
God.
shocked.
I'm making a mistake, aren't I?
I was so shocked that I accidentally hit my money button. But yes,
you're putting me on the spot because I'm the Bengals guy, and if
I haven't even made a pick yet.
Okay, what's your pick then, Nick?
Oh God, this is.
Are you gonna force me to be the tiebreaker?
Fuck. And usually I'm not in the middle of the road like this. The Bengals have been great. I can't deny it. Jamar Chase.
Joe Burrow, the fourth quarterback ever, 500 plus yards and 4 touchdowns in a game.
He cleaned up last week, no doubt. Him and Herbert have to be at the top of the discussion for MVP this year in every way, even though Vegas is going to completely destroy that take as well. I don't know
if I can do it against the Chiefs, though. I don't know if I can.
Patrick Mahomes looks like he's in form.
Yeah, that the Chiefs look like they're back. That they are back.
But Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Mixon, they look like they're ready to go.
I think this is gonna. I'll be honest with you. I think this is gonna be a high scoring game. This is gonna be offense like crazy.
So this is gonna be the battle of no defense.
Yeah. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something interesting since I'm the Bengals guy, and Nick just made me look bad if I go Chiefs. I'm going to go Chiefs. I'm not taking the line. I think it's only going to be a 1 or 2 point game, to be honest with you.
No, if the Chiefs are going to win, they're going to win. I don't think there's no close game here. I think one side is going to blow out one side. I just think that's what's going to happen. The momentum is going to flow once it comes out.
Well, let me see something interesting. Who are the Bengals playing next week? Because if the division's going to come down to next week, oh my God, they got the Browns. I think the Bengals have it locked up.
Yeah,
I think the Bengals' better scenario to clinch again is for the Rams to beat the Ravens this week and for the Browns to beat the Steelers on Monday night.
Yeah. Now, usually Tom and I both say the blatant disrespect from Vegas. Usually,
but you got to respect the Chiefs. The Chiefs for the first month and a half I didn't respect, but they look back. I don't know if the defense looks back, but the offense looks back.
Mahomes is back in Super Bowl form. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Chiefs. They're going to cover. They're either going to win and cover or they're going to get upset. That's how I look at it.
So this is actually a game. So actually, then, if this is all three of us disagreeing, this is not a game I bet. I just sit back and enjoy.
I'm taking the money. So
I wouldn't bet this one. All right.
Woo.
Speaking of Herbert, it's the Chargers and the Broncos.
This one's not close, in my opinion, to be quite honest.
No, Broncos 7-8. The AFC West was very close for the first few months. The Chiefs have started to break away. The Broncos are 7-8. Although,
what about Eckler?
I don't know about actually, but remember something. end of November, November 28th, in LA. The Broncos beat the Chargers, and now the game's in Denver. And we know the Chargers defense, how they suck.
I lost track of who's QBing in Denver at this point.
I think it's Locke.
Oh God. Yeah,
I'll go with the Chargers. Let's put it this way: this is a must-win. The Chargers will be out of the AFC picture if they lose this game.
they better win. That's how I'm
They
putting
have
it.
to win this game.
Take the money.
If they lose this week, this is typical. If the typical Chargers.
You mean basically everyone says they're good, then they get pressured, and then they play like shit?
Take the money.
As our friend Urinating Tree Saucer we just had on used to say, "Go fuck yourself, Spanos."
That's such a great line.
Him and his Lego people hair.
fuck you, Spanos.
Damn it.
All right, we got another double digit.
Oh,
The 49ers and Texans. However, as of Wednesday night, the rumor is Jimmy Garoppolo's injury to his hand might be too much, and we may see a Trey Lance appearance this week.
Oh, God. Rumor has it.
And the Texans, I mean, last week, we're talking about the Chargers. Last week, they put a smackdown on the Chargers.
So I'm going to take the Niners, but I'm going to say that line is closer to maybe 7.
Yeah, I'm going to go Niners, but too big a line.
Yeah. Of course, they're saying that Garoppolo is going to try and gut out the injury. Yeah, right. He should be gutting out his time in San Francisco because he's not going to be there anymore. So, the Niners are going to win, but that line is ridiculous in every way, shape, or form.
All right. We have Cardinals and Cowboys. So we got the Cardinals who are still trying to catch up to the Rams with the NFC West. You got the Cowboys who have the NFC East locked up and are, well, let me put it this way. The Cowboys, Rams, and Bucks are all 11-4, but the Packers have the 1 seed right now because they're 12-3. So the Cowboys, Rams, and Bucks are all trying to keep pace with the Pack Arena just in case they lose one of these last 2 games to put the NFC number 1 seed up on the line. So, but it's the Cardinals.
Yeah,
The Cardinals are a very mixed bag as of late. They were dominant for the first few months, but they've come back to earth a little bit.
I think the Cardinals are in trouble, actually, a little bit, because now with who am I forgetting? The wide receiver now out for the year. Hopkins, yeah.
He might come back playoff time, but he's definitely done for the regular season.
Well, it's just in general, he's injured. It doesn't help. So I think that hurts.
Connor's hurt. I'd say even though Chase Edmonds back and we had our whole thing about Connor's say number 1, Connor's hurt.
Watt's out. Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna go Cowboys.
I'm gonna go Cowboys too.
I think it's Cowboys, but I think the Cowboys are going to be lackadaisical, kind of like a Pittsburgh Steelers situation. Take the money.
I think the Cardinals can still get a wild card spot, but neither one of these teams I think are making it to the NFC title game.
No.
All right. Lions and the Seahawks. Seahawks are -7. The Lions make everything close. They do. They even though with their record, they make everything close. They've won 2 of 4. But the Seahawks, I mean, as much as they're eliminated, they actually look back in form somehow.
God, I would so love it if Russell Wilson stuck a middle finger to the Lions and lost the game on purpose.
You mean the Seahawks?
I mean the Seahawks to lose on purpose. Oy. Yes, I just wanted that big F you to the Seahawks.
It's not going to happen. Russ, here's what I'm going to say. Russ is going to try and cook. He's not going to be able to cook. He'll still get a W, but it'll be a soggy W. I'm actually not going to take that line. I think this is a
soggy
game.
W. What, like a carton of fries at Wendy's?
Hey,
or if the McDonald's fries were soggy and you held them upside down.
Well, thanks a lot. Now you're taking away all these sponsor opportunities by saying them.
Hey, I didn't say that the Wendy's fries were.
I didn't say they were bad. I didn't say anything.
You're calling them soggy. That's not great.
I said if they were soggy.
Oh God, great.
Still, take the money. Take the money and go to Wendy's.
I'm not taking the money. I'm taking the Seahawks. I'm not taking the money.
Yeah, I'm going with Nick for a change, which is rare. I'm taking the money.
Take the money and go to Wendy's.
Get a
Or
Frosty.
McDonald's. All right. Panthers and the Saints. The Saints a 6.5 favorite. Is Ian Book still starting?
Who knows? Can we just throw the book at this game and move on?
Let me see. I need to see the Saints quarterback situation here. Honestly, these are two of the worst teams right now in football.
Are you surprised?
Wait. As of 4 hours ago, here on Wednesday when we're recording this, Saints have activated Trevor Siemian and Taysom Hill. They are going to get their quarterbacks back. So
That's
you know what?
great.
Okay, you know what? I'll take the Saints. I don't know if I'll take the money, but I'll take the Saints.
I'll take the Saints too.
I mean, it's the Panthers we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Take the money.
I wouldn't be so certain if Ian Book were starting, but
I saw Sam Darnold out on the field last week. Be afraid of the Panthers, not.
Sunday Night Football. Packers, Vikings. Packers 6.5 favorite. The Vikings clawing to the wild card race. The Packers again trying to maintain their lead on the number 1 seed of the NFC East. I mean the NFC, which would give them the first round bye. So
I don't mean to upset my dad, but I can't trust Kirk Cousins as far as I can throw him. And neither
Kirk has had a good season. The Vikings, I'd say Kirk's had a good season. Justin Jefferson, I mean, is a beast.
It's the Packers. It's the Packers.
It's number one. Number one, Dalvin Cook didn't play last week. He was hurt. So if Dalvin's hurt, that's not good. And it's the Packers in Lambeau. And again, you have the Packers. Yes, they're stealing. But again, there's one big thing again, guys. It's the Packers in Lambeau, and the Packers are trying to hold the number 1 seed. They want that first round bye. Think about it. The last 2 seasons, I think it's because the Eagles in 2018.
Yes.
Most of the last seasons, the team who has had a first round bye has made it to the Super Bowl. And think about how desperate Rodgers and the Packers are with their relationship to try and finally get back to the Super Bowl after 10 years. They want that first round bye.
I'll put it as simple as this. No Cook, feelings hurt. That's the end of your chances.
Again,
take the money.
I say take the money. Take the money, not because of Vikings being bad, but because the Packers are they're desperate. And when the Packers get desperate, sometimes they do stupid things, and then sometimes they're dangerous.
Oh, you mean so you're saying that Aaron Rodgers is feeling dangerous?
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Speaking of feeling dangerous, Monday Night Football. The Browns a 3-point favorite in Pittsburgh against the Steelers. Loser of this game is out.
This is terrible because literally you could choose either team in this matchup, and you could literally defend either team in this matchup.
The Browns, I mean, they're bad.
But the Steelers are worse.
The Steelers are worse, though. Ben Roethlisberger looks like crap. And again, even Schlosser said that the offensive line issues are terrible. No matter how good or bad Ben is, no matter how good Najee Harris is, no matter how stupid but talented the likes of Chase Claypool can be, you can do nothing offensively. And we know this as experience as Giants and Jets fans. You can't do anything good offensively if you have a crap offensive line like the Steelers have.
Well, you can't do anything when you have a quarterback that's basically been mailing it in for the last 3 years.
So, but Baker, I mean, he looks horrid.
You almost need Jeopardy music to think about this. This is how bad.
He is horrid. Honestly, just play for the tie, guys.
Yeah.
Nah, you can't play for a tie. No ties.
I guess I have to take the money.
Oh.
I'm going to take the money. I'm just going to take the Browns.
I mean, my Big Ben bias is probably showing here, even though I hate Baker. I think Baker is going to end up out of Cleveland. That's my hot take right there. But in this case, since Big Ben is mailing it in, take the money.
Actually, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, yes, I think Browns, because, guys, as much as we're talking about Baker, Nick Chubb, anybody? Nick Chubb is going to run through that offensive line like cheesecake.
Yep. Swiss cheese, you mean?
I mean, didn't Baker screw it up last week, not giving Chubb the football?
Yeah, big time. So, but you know what? Hey, that means the Bengals are going to have the path to the AFC. I mean, to the AFC North. All they need is Rams to beat the Ravens this week, Browns to beat the Steelers, and then the Bengals can take care of the Browns in Week 18. There you go.
God,
There
that sounds like a lot of work. That sounds like a lot of work to get to the playoffs.
Yep.
But you know what doesn't take a lot of work? Showing up for the new episode in the new season of Empty the Bench. Yes, awkward segue. Awkward segue, but I made it because I'm the king of awkward segues. So, Empty the Bench, returning January 8th on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And make sure you join us there, where I'm sure we're going to have all our crazy nonsense and takes.
And make sure you join us tomorrow, New Year's Day, for our final best of for 2021.
God, we can get rid of 2021 finally.
Be there or be rectangular.